This week's episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Gamefly.
Dim, easy, free web conferencing.
And GoDaddy. This week on TRS, we are talking about the next one from the director of Napoleon Dynamite, Gentlemen Broncos. Also talks of a Footloose remake, New Super Mario Brothers, Forza 3, Torchlight, Diablo-esque Torchlight, and 24 hours of gaming. You guys get to see what went down that day.
Three rad males whose lives have been stale decide to set sail on a quest for the Grail. With a bond who got frail, Nazis hot on their tail, they dodge traps that impale, meet a man in chainmail. He warns them not to fail and choose wisely the Grail. We'll skip the details and just say they prevail. If you'd rather hear tales of game and DVD sales, allow us to unveil the Totally Rad Show!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 137. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Totally Rad Show is your weekly dose of all things rad. Hope you had an amazing Halloween.
Yep.
It's sort of weird because we're taping this before Halloween, yet you're going to see it right after Halloween.
We time travel on the show frequently.
We do time travel. I'm so excited to see how Halloween's going to go.
We got a cool background this week.
Yeah, great background, great background.
Very Nintendo. We were talking about New Super Mario Bros. Wii, obviously.
There's a Behold the Power Glove up there.
Very
I knew you would like that, Dan.
Yeah.
You're a big Power Glove fan.
Yeah,
Mikhail St. Dennis, I believe is his last name.
I believe.
And I wanted to bring something up with you guys.
Yes.
I went to the Hollywood Film Festival this week, and I saw a movie that I absolutely loved. It doesn't have distribution yet.
Ponyo?
No.
What was that?
I just did it.
It's called The Mother of Invention, and it's really
I
hilarious.
remember you twittered the trailer back.
Yeah,
then.
well, somebody who watches our show sent me the trailer way back. I didn't think I was ever going to get to see it because, like I said, it doesn't have distribution yet.
What's it about?
It's awesome. It's like a fake documentary about this kid who wants to win this inventing award.
Remember the trailer that he twittered?
Yeah, I do
And there's a guy who wins it every single year, and it is so hilarious. The characters, it's almost like a Christopher Guest movie. The characters are so well realized, so believable. I absolutely loved it. So if people get a chance to see it at any film festivals, they said they might have a screening at the New Beverly coming up. So I've been in contact with the guys who are making it. Awesome guys. Just a total, grassroots, made their own movie.
See it. Yeah, I'll see
thing. I just wanted to tell our audience about it. Seek it out on the internet. At least watch the trailer because it is really, really funny.
Yeah, I gotta watch the trailer again. I remember being excited about it.
Yeah. Oh man. The
Glad you got to see it.
lead guy he's phenomenal.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah.
This week in movies, we are talking about the next flick from the writer and director of Napoleon Dynamite. So we're talking about Gentlemen Broncos. So yes, we know the writing team of Jared and his wife Jerusha Hess from Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. Huge movies. Michael White co-wrote with them on Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
But huge movies, and now here we are with his next film getting a limited release. We checked it out a couple weeks ago, and so basically, the movie follows Michael Arengano. I don't really know his name. We talked about him in Forbidden Kingdom earlier this year. He's in Lords of Dogtown, and
was he the one from Sky High, or is that the other?
Yes,
guy?
and he's in Sky High as well. Michael Angarano, thank you, sir. And he is a young, aspiring, geeky science fiction author, and he goes away to a weekend retreat writers thing where he gets to meet and be taught by his all-time favorite sci-fi. This is like pulp sci-fi writer. So it's the world. The movie opens on a lot of
back writer.
The movie opens on these covers from science fiction novels that you would just know these covers. You know, it's very, very John Carter of Mars or Flash Gordon, or when you're walking through the sci-fi section and you're seeing books not by Philip K. Dick or Terry Brooks, right? But these other guys.
Paperbacks.
Yeah, paperbacks. That's good. So his favorite author, Ronald Chevalier, played by Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords. And we see this author's world is trying to write a new novel, and this kid trying to write his own work. And when we see this work played out by Sam Rockwell in reenactments of moments from this story. Very quirky, very much in the wheelhouse of Jared Hess. Jeff?
Yes.
You are a sci-fi book reading mofo.
I am.
A fan of Napoleon and Nacho?
Very much.
Both of them?
Actually, I never saw Nacho, strangely enough. I never got around to it.
Interesting.
But I love Napoleon Dynamite, and I saw it before it had sort of generated all that momentum, and fell in love with it, and felt like, oh, it's just this little movie that I get to keep just for me, and then it became this huge phenomenon.
Right.
And I love this movie. I love the way these filmmakers populate their world with such wonderful misfits. They have such a unique worldview and such wonderful creations of these flawed characters, these idiosyncratic, interesting characters you don't find in any other kind of movie. And they do such a great job of creating the unexpected and taking you on a journey that is very, very funny. I laughed my butt off in this movie, but also not the predictable A, B, C of a lot of the comedies we've been talking about this year. The way this story is wrapped up, the way this story is fulfilled, I didn't see coming, and it felt very satisfying. Jermaine Clement, who I'm a huge fan of, is hilarious in this movie. He creates one of those characters that's going to be around forever, kind of like Napoleon Dynamite, that people are going to quote and laugh about just thinking about it rather than watching the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed the experience of watching this movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. I actually didn't like Nacho. I was sort of a little disappointed, but I thought, you know, I sort of thought, well, this is, you know, you get your big budget, you get your star actors, and maybe they kind of falter a bit. But I feel like in this movie, it really kind of felt like the vibe of Napoleon, but it had your Sam Rockwells and Jermaine Clement. Yeah, he's not a huge guy, but he's bigger than anybody that was in Napoleon Dynamite before they were in Napoleon Dynamite.
Right.
So I loved it. I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was one of those movies that I am constantly quoting. Sam Rockwell is one of, if not my favorite actor of ever. That guy's amazing. I mean, ever since Galaxy Quest, when he first popped on my radar, and I went, that guy is a freaking comic genius. And then just all through his whole career,
Safe Man, baby.
Crazy stuff. Yeah.
Safe Man.
Even Charlie's Angels, I might say, was a pretty good showing for him. But anyway, so yeah, I loved it. I didn't actually expect to like it. I thought that there were going to be moments that were going to be funny, but that overall I was going to be disappointed, sort of like with Nacho Libre, but I think it held up better than I thought, yeah. And Jermaine, I mean, Chevalier is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very similar to you coming into this movie in that I loved Napoleon Dynamite. Also, sort of saw it before it got the mainstream buzz, but I was really disappointed in Nacho Libre. That made me really wary of this movie, and this ended up being for me a lot like Nacho Libre. But the premise of this is like, I thought I was going to eat up this premise. I thought it was genius and genius in the hands of this director, but you know, for me, the awkward humor was just awkward to me and not funny. Like what's funny is these awkward silences between people or awkward moments, and that just doesn't tickle my funny bone. It just actually is awkward. But also, I always wish that, like, there's a lot of things that are really odd, and you know, you guys probably thought were really funny, but But beyond, I wish that even if I didn't think it was funny, I would still think it's clever or smart. But it was just like he's riding a deer, you know. I wish that. So it's so cool if I don't think that's funny, but I can get something else out of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like if it worked on another level, but it really is just yes. And there's a lot of those.
Yeah. Well,
which
especially
in Napoleon are funny for me, but in these other two movies didn't.
You mentioned when you pitched to me my love for science fiction writing and genre writing of all kinds, and I neglected to mention, I think they nail the bad writer personality extremely well. The way when he's reading his own stuff, the way he writes specifically is so that overwrought. How he'll use words instead of said. You know, Elmore Leonard is famous for saying there's no other. You never need to use a word other than said when someone talks. And you know, he'll like they
pontificate.
They like, you know, even worse than that. And I can't remember any specific ones from the movie, but I think they nailed that so very well. And I enjoyed it.
I'm with you. All right, I want to chat with you guys about. There's been a lot of news this week about a remake of a movie that is near and dear to my heart. Yet I'm intrigued by this remake. And
you mean the one we talked about last week?
What was that?
Mad Max?
Not a remake. That was a sequel. And boy, oh boy, that's totally happening. It's called Fury Road, and it's happening.
All the casting we were talking about is spot
on. And there's you can see some of the cars online. Okay, but anyway, what I want to chat about with you guys is
a remake.
Footloose.
And Fancy Free?
Just Footloose.
Oh. Damn it! That was the British sequel to Footloose and Fancy Free.
Did you guys like Footloose growing up?
Very much.
Still, or was it just an 80s thing to you?
I haven't seen it in, I don't want to even say how long.
I think it's pretty dated. I mean, the guy in a steel mill dancing his emotions out is not a 2000
I still do that
story.
from time to time, I'll be honest.
You're right. It is very dated, yet I love this story more than... There's something very underdoggy and triumphant.
Let the kids dance.
So I think it's very profound.
Dude, the backflip at the end, changing.
Beyond,
I learned how to do backflips because of that movie.
Well, we will be seeing that later on.
Well, no, I want to stay alive. But I was 12.
Yeah, I mean, this movie for me, while it's dated, it still works on such a wonderful, dramatic level that I was actually excited when Paramount announced. So Kenny Ortega, who's a director that I like, you guys were talking about how much you're looking forward to This Is It. He did this Michael Jackson documentary, This Is It, but he also directed Newsies.
Well, Jeff was. I'm not really all that excited at all.
But Jeff and Mike were, that's right.
Yes.
But he directed one of my favorite musicals, and I'm a big fan of musicals, Newsies. He also did the High School Musical films, which I do have an affinity for, though are not great movies.
Don't you think that's the reason we're getting this Footloose remake?
No. So here's the news: is that he left the project, Kenny Ortega. Right. And because Paramount, he was turning it into a musical, and Paramount wanted it to be more dramatic, which I thought is actually much more in keeping with the original. Because
the original was not a musical.
Musical was a drama with musical moments, but even they weren't musical.
No, it's like Dirty Dancing.
They were
it's not
80s.
A musical. Yeah.
But they're now talking to director Craig Brewer. A director I love, I know you do not like.
What did he do?
He did Hustle and Flow,
Oh.
and you didn't see Black Snake Moan, but you detest Hustle and Flow.
It's one of my least favorite movies.
Yeah, I love Hustle and Flow. So
I didn't see either of those movies, so I abstain.
Yeah, but it's interesting because he directed a movie about music that was a drama, and it was a dirty and gritty and very true to the South drama that had musical moments. Sounds a little bit like it could be Footloose, but what I like about this, and I want to toss to you, but and you as well. But I'm very, you have strong opinions, I'm sure. But what I like about this is this: I think he really fully explores worlds that we don't see too often. That's the world that we see in Hustle and Flow, and the world that we see in Black Snake Moan and anti-heroes. And I really like this direction. I feel like Footloose could be a really great film, not just a
campy.
I just think that Kevin Bacon's a little old for it.
Well, yeah. So Zac Efron was.
Wait a minute, they're not going to cast Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, Zac Efron, by the way, has also walked away from the project. So
that could be a good thing.
Any
Well, because I know he had said he was like, I don't want to do any more song and dance stuff because now
I think
it's
it's
song
good
and
on
dance,
him.
smart on his
Yeah.
on his part. That's what I meant by it. That's a good thing for him.
Yeah.
As far as remakes go, I've decided to be a White Snake moan. I'm just like, wash me over.
They should-
The board is
They should
clear.
actually, I'm still stuck on
whatever it
Kevin Bacon.
is.
They should cast Kevin Bacon as the
dad.
That would be really funny.
That's like
Well-
what they do in bad movies.
Yeah,
I know.
But
so that'll
I want
happen.
it to happen anyway.
So I'm very much like remake, go for it. I'm not going to be excited, but I'm not going to be looking down my nose at it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I just can't get excited about. I mean, all the things you're saying are like cool. That sounds like a cool movie. I'd like to see, but I mean, I can't get
I
myself
think it's
fired
going
up
to be
for it.
terrible. And I try to not prejudge things, but in this case, I'll make an
I
exception.
think this is terrible. I don't like to prejudge.
I cannot conceive it being something I will be liking. I can't.
Well,
And I feel
surprise.
bad that I'm wearing the hater pants right now, but
hey.
Really? Man, this film is so good.
I love Footloose. Well, I loved Footloose. I haven't seen it in a long time, but
I just think it has good roots.
Maybe we should punch loose. Punch at you.
I'm gonna switch them up. Pop your wrist strap on like this. But we're gonna have you hold like classic controller style.
Oh, cool.
If that's all right.
Yep.
You guys have it all
That
comfy
is
and
better
stuff?
than all right.
Cool.
It's amazing.
And then the thing you can notice on story mode, you can go through it by yourself, but it also has multiplayer, so I can just add you guys in at any point. So go ahead and click 2 twice to join in.
Luigi in the house.
One more time.
Somebody has a lot of lives. What?
For demonstration purposes.
Nice. Come on.
Oh, haha. I mean, good job, Dan.
To let go. So again, like with this, you can be as cooperative or as competitive as you want to be, which is cool.
I didn't do that.
Or just, I'm like the younger brother. Shared lives or everybody has their own lives?
Everyone has their own set of lives, but it's communal in the sense that your coins
Feel
are
free to
communal.
say
So if you hit 100 coins, everyone gets a free life.
epic. That's cool.
By the way, just so you know, because I'm usually have my thing on the right hand, I almost threw this at Dan trying to scratch my foot. I went, yeah! Oh, if I wasn't holding on, I would have hit Dan in the face.
Which is why I have those.
It's amazing. It's
Yes.
amazing. You don't want some fish sticks.
Obviously, it's the same music. A little different. You gotta let them get close enough. Get close enough. You can't freeze them too soon, guys. Come on.
Oh, there you go! I got it. Epic.
That was a selfless act from Luigi.
Good job, Luigi.
Oh, hurry up.
So this is a multiplayer mode, and we have a couple modes, coin battle and free-for-all. I'm going to show you the free-for-all. But right from the beginning, what you'll notice is that you have a level from every world. So even if you haven't unlocked anything, you can check out all the different worlds and what's available.
Lots of things. Man, this is diabolical in the
Yeah.
sense of the with each other, but also against each other at the same
Oh,
time. Ooh, pee.
Where am I? Come back.
Did you die? But let's check out an ice level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit more slick.
Nice. Yes.
So be a little bit more careful.
Epic. Yep. See how it's sliding?
Oh, it's slick. Ooh, penguin.
Hey, hey.
Oh boy.
oh, you
That was
pushed
it.
me off.
Every person
Oh, boy.
under me.
Did we hit?
Everybody,
Guys, move.
it exploded on me.
There we go.
Who's getting at me? Oh, and I got squashed. I don't want to be where I am.
Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay.
Here we go.
On count of 3, we're gonna run. Ready? One,
Run. Wait.
Hey,
Okay.
Go.
I'm doing nothing but listening.
Oh, I don't know how I lived. How did I live? Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh. Oh. I'd say avoid that.
Yeah. Cool. I like this stage.
Oh, no.
Get him. Get on his head.
Get out of there.
Get out of there. Getting out of there. Oh.
So when you're running, if you hold down one button, you'll slide.
Oh. Darn it! I knew that was gonna happen. I so knew that was gonna happen. Hey guys, there's a whole bunch of coins are just messed up. You don't care about coins.
Wait, what happened to my parkour skills? Oh,
You're there.
oh, careful.
No, no. No, no.
Why are you so big?
See?
Oh, propeller. That is so cool.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I'm stuck in this.
What's that?
I get it, this part. Or if you want to, like, talk trash and, like, I'm better than you.
Looks like Luigi was the best. Reload.
We got a lot to talk about in the video game segment this week, but we just saw us playing some new Super Mario Brothers Wii, so we have to really briefly talk about that. And
Yes.
I will say that what you saw in the video is only a part of what we saw.
Yeah.
We also got to see the very, very, very cool. I can't remember what the mode is called, but it shows you how to get through levels. It's like a helper mode to show you how to get through levels. And there's like an expert videos that you can unlock by doing well in the game that show you every world, every stage has like an expert way to get through it. And there's some incredible things.
Yeah.
We saw 4-player Yoshis where one player
Was not playing.
Not even playing. They just took him into the Yoshi's mouth and passed him back and forth between each other and got through the entire level without ever having him touch the ground.
And got him all those, got him to like 1,000 extra lives because every time, because he wasn't touching the ground, every time he would get like a coin, it'd be like, 1 up, 1 up, 1 up. So they were passing back and forth.
Such a great idea to include that kind of stuff.
And they actually, we did ask, because we were like, well, was this just like you put in the numbers and they make it? And they said, no, they actually had the developers sit down and do it.
Human beings.
Awesome.
They said that the testers did them. So this game is the definition of fun, right? It's going to be instant fun for all.
Yes, of course.
Anything to add, Dan?
It's New Super Mario Brothers .fun.
It really is.
Yeah, you know what it reminded me of was a game that I always wanted to play. It was only a camp. They had it on one computer loaded.
What's it going to be?
Mario Brothers.
Oh,
The original Mario Brothers, not Super Mario
really?
Brothers.
This reminds you of that? How odd.
No, because Mario Brothers was just a
2 people,
competition
yeah.
between two, and that's exactly what this is. It's just like, but actually it's not exactly what it is because it's competition and it's cooperative. It's like a tighter little Big Planet.
Cool
right?
if you'd actually finished that word. but yeah.
Cooperative?
I mean, I think it was the title of one of our episodes once.
I think so.
Anyway, we'll probably
Right.
be talking more about it. This game is going to, I predict,
it's
is going to
going to be-
sell more copies than any Wii game, and that's saying a lot with Wii Sports Resort and.
This game is going to be so much
Mario
fun. And did they say online play?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
But
I would
maybe
have
I'm
wanted to play that online with the Wii.
All right, so the games that we really are talking about this week, a few weeks ago you heard us talk about Need for Speed Shift, and we all confessed to being not aficionados of the simulation driving game.
Correct.
And we all expressed a affinity for Need for Speed Shift, which is definitely more on that simulation side of the racing. But now this week, we've got a true simulation game, and that's Forza 3. It's from Turn 10 Studios, and it is in that Gran Turismo tradition of being comprehensive look at hundreds of cars.
Hyper-realistic.
Hyper-realistic,
Yeah.
racing them on tracks, create as much of a, find that perfect racing line and create as much of a true racing experience as they can possibly put onto a video game.
Correct.
This one includes a new feature, which is rewind. So at any point during the game, during a race, you can rewind a bit and correct a mistake you may have made.
As long as you don't do it within a couple seconds of starting the race.
You really didn't start that well.
Really?
Found that out. Because I was like, boop, boop. Oh.
Lots of incredible community stuff. The Forza series has been famous for being able to great camera modes, modding your car, all kinds of crazy stuff. All that is carried over into this version. Dan, you loved Need for Speed Shift, as did we all.
Right.
Are you a true simulation game guy now or not?
I don't know if I can answer that question.
Let me rephrase.
Answer that question with a riddle.
What's interesting is, I mean, I really dug the vibe of Forza 3. Just it reminded me of Mirror's Edge. Everything's
Yes.
very
Interesting,
white,
yeah.
and there's this sort of ambient techno music that's just very pleasant. I just like
parts of
being.
Assassin's Creed.
I was actually going to
little
say.
bit.
I was actually going to say that is that where Need for Speed Shift is sort of like a guitar riff.
Yeah.
This game is like a
Ambiance chill movie.
soothing bath.
Trance music.
Welcome to the planet Forza.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
will be passenger 5.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I really dug that, and I think it's all very solidly, very well made. I wish I could comment on some of the things that I think are probably the things that are really spectacular about this game, which is what I observed of the storefront, where you can make parts and sell them,
Right.
and like
Paint
really
jobs, all
deep,
kinds of stuff. Which Forza 2 had
crazy stuff. But I have to say, in every first, I actually got what I thought was very far, but was only the 1% through the game. I put the game in hard mode. I started in medium and it was extremely easy. Then I put it in hard mode and it was still extremely easy. So I went in and I customized things, and I never really, it was never super challenging. It was fun. I did have a good time playing. And the rewind feature is I started off sort of like, that's silly, it's like not a challenge at all. But then I realized, oh no, this is spectacular, because the things that are really stressful when you play a racing game, when you make one stupid mistake and everything's fine, or you look that you blink or sneeze or something, it's like, so great to have that, or just you know,
That's why I don't race cars.
when you're doing a lot of
professionally.
laps and there's an endurance thing and you just want to like, and you make a silly mistake, it's so wonderful to have that rewind feature. Spectacular. But I have to say, in every level, I enjoyed Need for Speed Shift more. I enjoyed the graphics more in Need for Speed Shift. I enjoyed the variation in levels and track design in Need for Speed Shift, and I enjoyed the gameplay. Need for Speed Shift, there was racing one car versus another car, and then racing in a real race, and then time, whatever, you know, like, and drifting. Like, there was enough variation to keep me wanting to keep playing, and this got a little monotonous.
Well, there is variation in this game, and it sort of forces you to seek it out, I think, a little bit more than Need for Speed. It'll hold your hand through that calendar progression that Forza has.
Right.
And if you kind of get into one rut with one car, you can kind of keep going and going and going in the game without ever really progressing to anything that's different. Whereas if you actively
other
buy new
cars,
cars
and
and you can even back out, it gives you those 3 options in your week, and you can back out and find other options.
I did that, but none of that to me compared to enough of the variation that I got with Need for Speed Shift.
Interesting. Dude, I can't.
what did you think? What do you
couldn't
think?
agree with you more, Dan. I think, you know, for me, first off, the rewind button, game changing, because it totally takes that stress of, oh my God, I'm a moron, and it also allows you to try to do the harder things. Like, I was really trying to drift into corners, and really trying to, you know, figure out, well, what, because you never get to experiment in those race car games when you've got all these people barreling down, and you're like, well, I wonder what the difference is between using the handbrake into the turn when they're really sharp and not. And so there were a couple times where I was like, and I'm like, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Okay, handbrake not at hairpin turn. You know what I mean? Like, so it did allow for that kind of stuff. And I really liked the aesthetic. I think the aesthetic was really pleasing to me. But at the end of the day, you know, it was just sort of the same thing. Like, I just would kind of circle around the tracks, and I was like, yeah. And especially now that there's that rewind button, though I think it's great, and I'm happy that it's there, it does make it a little bit less tense. So I'm just kind of going, and then I bump somebody, and I'm like, well, let's see if it works. And then it ends up I can't get it back, so I just go boop, 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 and then I don't bump them. You know what I mean? So it just became a little bit monotonous. Now, that said, as people who have professed to be not super into the sort of simulation racers, if you are into simulation racers, this is probably a freaking amazing game.
Yeah, I'm sure you've already bought it.
Oh, and there's so many, like,
But
the
I think
upgrading stuff. The other thing that they do, which I think is really, really good for people who are not big fans, is the auto upgrade your car.
Yes.
Amazing, because I would never upgrade my car because I was like, I have no idea whether me as a player should need an extra blow on my carburetor or lock nuts for my wheels.
Someone asks you for an extra blow, you always say yes.
Yeah, that does make sense.
I want to say something about that, because I feel like I remember playing I remember loving one of the older Forza games. I'm pretty sure it was a Forza game.
Maybe
Maybe
Forza?
it was Gran Turismo, where there was, in order to race, you had to sort of compete in like speed up and then slow down your car on a dime.
No, you had to get your driver's license.
You had to like
different
do
driver's
things
license. That
to
was
get
Gran
your
Turismo 4 or 2.
Well, that kind of variation I
that,
really
yeah.
enjoyed, and I was missing in this kind of.
Because you couldn't, you
But Jeff,
like hit a
didn't-
wall where you couldn't go any further until you did like these
You had to do it,
precision
and then it was like I had
things.
to pass the controller. Can you do it? Can you pull it off?
Yeah.
You play with the racing wheel, right?
I did. I went out and bought
yeah.
a racing wheel, the Microsoft racing wheel, and I'm in to these games. This is what I always wanted. I always wanted to be able to play these simulation racing games, and I never could find any fun in them. And I think that this game, what it does so well is it makes all this so accessible. The racing line, the rewind feature, like you said, auto upgrade, all those things make this very dense field of precision racing much more accessible to the naysay or to the non-expert.
Yeah.
And I think we can't really give an educated
100%,
experience of what
100%.
the real aficionados will think of this game. But what we can give is what a non-racing
A
guy.
casual racer.
Exactly. And for that, man, I really enjoyed playing it. It's like playing Pixel Junk Eden or something for me. It's like a relaxation, which racing games have
interesting,
never
yeah.
been for me. And I remember you mentioning a couple weeks ago that I had always said I don't like racing games because they stress me out too much. Yeah. This game is the opposite of that.
Yeah,
It's a wonderful relaxation. With that wheel, it's like real driving. I'm cruising. I'm having a great time. I get to really kind of zone out and focus in on creating that good racing line. And like you said, the music, the whole wrap of this game is such a aesthetically pleasing, soothing experience. I got to race a Ferrari Testarossa, which was the only car when I was a kid. Like I had a poster of a car.
yeah.
I had a
Miami
Lamborghini
Vice.
Countach or something.
Funny.
Poster. You probably want to up the difficulty level if you were relaxed, I would think. But I want to say that.
But I enjoyed that experience of being relaxed.
Well, I don't want to rob you of that.
And I think that the difficulty comes in when you start playing online against real human beings.
Well, but
Yeah,
also,
that always is like, I'm not
also,
playing this game.
Yeah.
I definitely felt at a disadvantage playing with a controller. It sort of dawned on me. I mean, I think that the wheel for a racing game is like not playing with the wheel on a racing game is like not using a arcade stick on a fighting game, because the way racing's all about that smoothness, and it's impossible. I mean, I don't want to develop that. Where like
don't want to develop
where
that.
where
That's
my
you.
thought, like when we're playing in our controllers, like when you turn, you go
Yeah.
right? Because you can't move your thumb, right? But the wheel, it's that you can do that. You
Yeah.
literally can't do it.
enjoy the experience of
without.
the wheel.
Interesting.
So I definitely feel like I wish
Yeah.
I'd played with a wheel.
You had an opportunity during our 24-hour game, and you didn't really want to.
I did.
All right, the next game we're going to talk about is a game we saw at PAX when we were there, and it intrigued us. It's called Torchlight, and if it looks and plays a lot like Diablo, it's no coincidence. It's made by
Diablo.
Runic Games, which and the designers are a few of the guys that made Diablo, guys that made a game called Fate, which is another Diablo clone that was really, really cool that I played a lot of a few years ago. And this very much is that dungeon crawler, keep going deeper and deeper, isometric perspective like Diablo, upgrade your guys, skill trees. You have a pet like you did in Fate that it works like an aid in combat, as well as a mule that carries a lot of extra stuff for you. You can send it back to town to sell all your stuff while you stay down deep in the dungeons. And the really, really cool thing about this game is it's only $20 on Steam. So I want to hear what you think about Torchlight.
Yeah, Torchlight was really, really interesting. I hate to bring up Borderlands. I have a feeling, as Dan said in our review of Borderlands, that I think Borderlands is going to come up because it's sort of changed the way that I experience a certain type of game. And I would sort of put this into that category, which is I really enjoyed the game up to the point at which I realized nobody is going to know how awesome I'm doing at this game. Like, this is just me playing this game. And I almost had the thing where I sort of had the same thing you had with Forza. I started on normal, and was destroying people. It was never hard. And as I leveled, I was like, no, I don't. Now I'm just doubly, I'm doing twice as much damage. And before I was killing them in one shot, now everybody is exploding into pools of blood. Literally, that is what was happening. Yeah. So I switched the difficulty, and I still was just able to go in, and maybe it was just the character I was playing, was able to go in and like 2-3 shots, waves of monsters were dead. And so then it was like, oh cool, I get all this gold and this loot, and it just got really boring. And I felt really bad about that because before it turned over into that boring town, I was really enjoying it. I loved the aesthetic. I enjoyed.
Well, I think maybe boring isn't what you mean to say.
Monotonous.
Don't you mean to say it pointless?
No, well,
because
yeah,
I think what
equals boring for me.
I think what you're expressing is that it became less fun when you realized there was nowhere else to take this experience.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You were just playing for your own sake, and you don't. Get enough out of that.
No. That was part of the reason why it became boring for me, but I think it was also the same thing of, it literally was just a walk into a room, the things spawn, and I click towards them. That was my entire gameplay experience.
Well, that's Diablo. I mean, that's that kind of game.
It wasn't like choosing the different thing. Like, it didn't matter, like, the things I like are when like waves are coming, you're like, okay, there's more, I need to switch to this thing because that's the spell that works when I can do this, and in this situation that works. And for me, I had one.
In that game.
I know, but the problem was I had one thing. My first thing they gave me, I just leveled it up, and it was this arrow that like bounced around. And I tried the other stuff, but I was like, yeah, it doesn't work as good as the arrow bouncing around. So it became this move through, find the chest, open it up, shoot the people with the one button, and it got boring.
Go ahead.
Okay, so first let me say that I am definitely getting, and I'm looking ahead of what we're going to be reviewing in the next coming weeks, I'm getting XP'd out.
Well, Dragon Age is staring right at you next week.
I'm like, I will say I never knew how addictive my personality is, and I'm playing these XP-based games, and they are killing me.
Softly.
And I'm getting a little bit like sick of it, but nothing against these games. It's just because I'm playing an inundation of them.
Well, and a lot of that also is this time of year where everything's coming out. We're having to play a lot of stuff in a very condensed period of time, and I'm sure that's a little fatiguing. Poor Dan has to play video games.
No, but the problem is, I played this game one time. I sat down last night. I played till 4 a.m. I could have sworn that 5 minutes had passed. Like, because it just.
But I think that's a compliment to the game.
It is.
Yeah.
So this is a great game. I've never played Diablo except for when we played it at BlizzCon, the little tests, and I'm feared. I'm really scared for Diablo.
I think we all might be scared of Diablo.
Yeah, because
luckily we got like 2 years before it comes out.
If this game had co-op, I would never be out of my chair.
Yeah, because it.
And that's saying a lot for a $20 game.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, I'm looking for Diablo because it's like graphically it's a little different and all that. But I love the world. I mean, so this is a clockwork world.
And a much more cartoony aesthetic.
A very World of Warcraft aesthetic, but not a typical fantasy thing. I was an alchemist, and at one point I got to unlock an alchemical golem, which was this like tin can thing with like magic inside it, with beams of light that would kill things. Very cool. Like, I love the imagination.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean, Alex. I felt for a while I was very powerful, but I think some of the pleasure is like almost like that Wolverine game, like the pure power, destroying worlds. And it takes a long time for some challenge to enter, but even when or for some difficulty to enter, but even when that happens, it's still like I can only ever do my 1, 2, 3. I can only ever do my skill. It's not like I'm not like, I need to do this first, and I need to kite someone over here. Like, it's really just all I can ever do is just tap buttons. So I wish there was more there. And I will say, eventually it got to a point where the worlds it wasn't just dungeony stuff, it was the molten world. Like, it really started to get cooler. But I wish that they could, why is it that when I play Uncharted, there's the train level, and there's this level, and there's that level, and then whenever I play MMOs or this kind of game, it's why are they so uncreative in their game design? Like,
I don't know if it's uncreative.
And I don't
think it's a lack of creativity. I think it may be a specific genre they're working in, and those genre has certain tropes that mined a little bit too frequently. Some of the creatures that you fight in this game are absolutely original and awesome.
No, I agree. That's why I think it's imaginative.
I love the pet stuff. The way the pet works is great.
I think it's very imaginative, but I wish that the actual game design would do something more. And I'm speaking not just of Torchlight, because I think you're dead on. It's working in that genre. I wish that this genre would learn from itself and say, we need to do something. We need to amp it up.
It also, this game really made me realize what wasn't in Borderlands. Because any kind of crafting, any kind of adding elemental stuff to weapons and stuff like that. Armor I was surprised at how much I missed armor.
And by the way, the mule, having the pet that takes stuff back for you, I think that's a brilliant role-playing thing.
Yeah, amazing.
What did you think?
I loved it, and I think it's a steal at $20. I think anybody should check it out on Steam. It's phenomenal. I wish it had co-op, but one thing it does have that nobody's talked about yet, which is completely moddable. They put out all the stuff that you need to mod this game, and I could foresee people taking this in crazy directions.
I'm excited about that.
So yeah, I think people should definitely check out Torchlight.
I vouch for that for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a time suck.
Okay, so we are halfway. So you saw us. You saw the whole thing.
We're at mile 12. Boy.
Well, who runs mile line?
Yeah.
Mile line?
Let me just say, as the only person who's ever done another kind of marathon, if there's one thing I've learned that I should share with you guys, it's you should cover your nipples. Doesn't really apply to this
I'm
marathon.
the only one with Band-Aids on my nipples. And we reached our goal halfway through. We're beyond 5,000.
We got an enormous
S. Stevenson.
over $1,000 contribution from S. Stevenson.
With the condition
that we will meet.
It was he donated $1,000 so that I would sing "Eye of the Tiger" to revisit a segment we did a year ago, probably, on the show. So I'm going to do that later in honor of S. Stevenson.
So we started with video games.
We started with Street Fighter 4.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was hurt.
Yeah.
Because this boy decided to go out and drink the night before, staying
You know
up
what
for
you
2
wanted to
hours.
do? I know you, Alex, and you like a challenge.
I do.
And you thought
it was too simple.
24 hours straight awake, anybody can do that.
How can I tie my arm behind my back?
Exactly.
By
How can I
vomiting.
handicap myself?
Played a little Madden.
Played a little Madden, and then we got into
Forza. Jeff was playing while we were getting food.
Forza.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which was our 4-player. We could all play it once.
And we were gonna go back to that game that well because I was having a blast.
It was fun.
It's like Hero Quest right now.
Yeah.
So.
So we're pressing on. I mean, it is halfway, and darkness has fallen, but we're pressing on. We got the support of people in the chat room.
Got
It's amazing.
We'll check back in with them later.
toads. Okay, we are deep into
It is
our 24 hours.
It's almost 1 a.m.
Past midnight.
It's almost 1 a.m.
So we have 7 more hours.
That seems like no many hours.
It's very numb.
We just played a lot of tabletop games.
Yes, thanks to Mikey.
Yes, thanks to our DM for coming through. We played Hero Quest and a game that we just picked up randomly on the shelves.
Which
thinking it
Dan
could
just
be
bought
awesome.
on a whim. I'll
Yeah.
give you credit, dude. It was all you.
Cutthroat Caverns.
Cutthroat
You really
Caverns.
it's a winner.
I was,
It was
It was awesome.
Anyway,
Get it.
Here's the thing. we made our goal.
We blew our goal.
We're past our goal at this point.
Mainly due to a fellow named S. Stevenson.
Yes.
Who donated $1,000.
Over 1,000. 1,033.
Over $1,000 in the condition that I sing "Eye of the Tiger," which obviously harkens back to some past episodes of the show where that happened.
So we are gonna do Eye of the Tiger.
Dan Trachtenberg is the Eye of the Tiger.
I am the survivor.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Dan Trachtenberg.
Rising up, back on the street.
$1,000
My
voice.
time, took my chances. This is now back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive.
$1,000.
So many times it happens too fast.
You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip.
On the bridge of the past was a fight just to keep it satisfied. It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to challenge a rival. And the last knows by the sun is right in the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
That's a voice that cures cancer.
What does it take to do the 24-hour game? What does it take, Dan? Getting a stalker in the night.
The eye of the tiger.
Nice! Dan Trachtenberg, Eye of the Tiger. $1,000 voice. $1,000 voice.
Du hast mich gefragt, du hast mich gefragt, du liegst du gesagt. Beste, du, ich scheide, sein wir so ein Tage. Nein! That means no. Nein! Woo! Du hast mich. Du hast mich.
Yeah, that's right. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. What did we do? What did we decide to do at 3:30 in the morning? Haul out a couple more televisions into the living room and why we set up our own LAN. What's a LAN, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's a local area network that allows us to connect several systems together and play old-fashioned video games. Just old-fashioned fun. So, come on, join us, won't you? So literally 7:17. We're in the home stretch, and Dan is he's not making it. And literally Alex and I are cracking up because
You guys are still fighting, Dan.
because we'll be walking and all of a sudden his character will just start walking into a wall like, and we'll look over and Dylan will be like this.
Iron Fist.
It's happening. It's totally happening right now. It's like that kitten. It's like that kitten that can stay awake.
Iron Fist. So just to be fair, we're not trying to be completely sadistic to Dan. We're all trying to
We
make
get through
it
this together, man.
to
We got
stay
a
up.
commitment.
gaming till 8.
We're doing it. We're gaming, man.
So we're not just being sadistic, because it does seem like now we're just effing with
being
Dan.
mean. But it's making us laugh a lot.
I mean, how can't you?
It's adorable. It's adorable.
Hours.
We just ended playing some Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Dan was mostly there for it.
Iron
He's not
Fist.
doing well.
No, I'm not.
He's not doing
That's right. But we forced him to stick to it because your donations made us play for 24 hours, and we can't thank everybody enough.
And all
We
the
were
people who
blown
hung out
away.
with us in the
There's still,
live chat.
Still 300 plus people in the chat room. We haven't dipped below that all night. It's
No.
amazing. Thank you everybody that gave us the support, that was supported the charity, that was cheering us on in the chat room, that was supporting financially. It really, we just, right, Dan?
I'm afraid to say anything because I'm so delirious right now. I'm scared of what I might say, of the words I
Amazing.
use.
And you know what?
Poopy pants.
That says it all right there.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. I hope you enjoyed this interesting look into what 24 hours of gaming looks like, and see you next year.
Thanks, Extra Life, and let's fight pediatric cancer with one less fish bump.
So as you just saw, we rocked the 24 hours of gaming for
Yeah.
pediatric cancer
Very
research.
proud of that.
But we have a little bit more to tell you about that. But first, we do want to thank our sponsors, such lovely sponsors as GameFly. GameFly is online video game renting. What? It's just that easy. Up to 4 games at a time. They have over 6,000 titles across all handhelds and consoles. Amazing stuff. All you have to do is just fill out your list of all the games you want. They send them to you. You play. When you're done, pop it in the mail. Boop. And they send you the next one on the list. Easy breezy, beautiful. And if you like the game that you're playing so much that you have to continue playing it, you can just go to the website and click Buy Now, and then they just send you the manual and the thing in the mail for free. It's easy. Case.
Well, you pay for it, but yes. It's a reduced
Easy.
price, though.
Reduced price.
Yeah.
Amazing. Plans start as low as $15.95 a month, which, if you think about it, you play more than half a game a month.
Yeah.
You're saving money. So check it out. You can also get a 2-week, no-risk free trial over at www.gamefly.com/TTRS.
I also get to tell you about Dim Dim, which is a new sponsor of ours. A Dim Dim is 100% free online web conferencing. It's built on an open source software, totally slick. It's really easy to use and really free. How easy and how free, you ask? Well, moron cheapskates like us can actually use it.
Yay!
Prove it, you say. Okay, we reply. We are actually going to have our own web conference on Dim Dim, and you can participate. We're going to hang out. We're going to spend some time chatting with you. We had a great time on the live stream of the 24-hour film festival that you just saw. So we thought it would be really fun to have more interaction, and Dim Dim luckily makes that possible. So what you're going to do?
How would you get involved?
Well, Kermit, I will tell you. Go to www.dimdim.com/TRS, sign up. It's, as I said, free, totally free. They will then, that's what's so cool about Dim Dim, they will actually send you an email with the start time of the conference. And you just click on a link in that email and it does everything you need to do. It logs you in, you participate. It hops you, why are you grinning like a weirdo?
I'll tell you. 'Cause one of my favorite comedians, Jim Gaffigan, has a riff on the difference between free and totally free or absolutely free. He's like,
He just said seriously free, I think is what we were talking about.
then you said totally free, and then I was
yeah.
like, well, is that free or is that more than free?
Yeah, it is. It is free like a winged eagle in the night, as free as your dreams can be. So go to dimdim.com/TRS, sign up, and you'll get to hang out with us. We don't know when yet, but it's very
they'll
soon.
find out soon.
Very soon, and you have to sign up to find out. So sign up, and you'll get an email, and you just click on it and shoot right in, and we
Amazing.
hang out, and we all become best friends.
Danny?
GoDaddy.com is where you would go if you wanted to purchase a domain name or host a website. I wouldn't be too surprised if Gamefly and Dim Dim got their donames from GoDaddy.com. They have some domains as low as $1.99. They have really easy to use startup software and great customer service. Go to revision3.com/GoDaddy to get choose from a bunch of different promo codes.
Nice.
And of course, just GoDaddy.com.
Epic. Also, we do want to say, every once in a while we ask you guys to fill out a little survey online. There's one of the things to note, No personal information is required on these surveys. They take like 5 minutes or whatnot. It's a way for Revision 3 to kind of figure out what people are enjoying about the shows, what people are not enjoying about the show.
Turn-ons.
Turn-ons, turn-offs, likes, dislikes.
Just put us running in the background right now.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
Start filling out
And
that
just start
survey.
filling it out. So head over to revision3.com/survey. So, gentlemen, we stayed up for 24 hours and had a freaking blast.
We did. We have to thank sarcasticgamer.com
Yes.
for coming up with this concept.
And all of you people for coming and staying up with us for 24 hours and donating.
We raised, our goal was $5,000.
Arbitrary goal set by Jeff.
Completely arbitrary goal set by me. We exceeded that goal. We made, about over $5,500.
Correct.
Our team, people out there who signed up to participate on our team, everybody all together made over $7,500.
Amazing.
Which all of it went to Texas Children's Hospital to help stop pediatric cancer.
Love it.
Yes.
And, go ahead.
No, well, I was saying not only. Oh no.
Well, I was gonna say, and overall, all of the people that participated in this particular thing, Extra Life it was called, reports say that they made over $150,000. It's
crazy.
By people staying up for 24 hours and playing video games. So
Wow.
thank you every single person that contributed. We are really proud of your
And
part.
we had a blast with the live stream.
So-
Thank you, Daniel T. Trachtenberg, for bringing Tiberius. Don't worry. For bringing the idea of doing a live stream 24 hours. Alex, a hungover, was not as
not
excited
bringing,
about it.
but sort of forcing.
And I'm glad that you did, and I know they're glad that you did because it was amazing.
I was just gonna say, I wish that we had been able to. I don't even know people who knew that happened, just saw the segment.
It was kind of
wish
impromptu.
That it was very impromptu. It was so much fun though. I can't wait. Well, Dim Dim will be sort of like that, but boy, was that
We
fun.
haven't seen the segment yet, but I hope it includes a lot of Kitten Dan trying to stay awake with the big boys.
Hilarious at the end. Hilarious.
Some great moments. And Mike Rizzo came by and our DM and sat with us and played all sorts of stuff, which
Fell
is really
asleep
great.
at the end. Amazing.
Fell asleep at the end. It was sweet.
Yeah, it was. What do you guys think? Was it harder or less hard than you thought it was going to be?
It was less hard than I thought it was going to be, though I will say I obviously tied my own arm behind my back because I drank too much the night before.
Move.
I'll tell you right now, video game playing I could have played for another 24 hours video game. Like I thought I was gonna get sick of playing game, whatever.
But we changed it
I
up.
was like, I could definitely keep playing. This is like, I realized I kind of played this much already.
Also, Cutthroat
anyway.
Caverns.
Big win. Big win on
Cutthroat Caverns was an amazing game.
Huge
So
recommendation.
excited to play that.
And tiredom really only factored in the last
Yeah, it
2
was like
hours.
5:30.
It was like
But
kind of like
figured it
sushi.
in a big way for you, Dan.
Where it's like where sushi is like amazing. I'm starving. Oh my god, that one last bite was I'm gonna throw up. You know, and that was like the last 2 hours.
This is why he doesn't eat sushi
I was wide
anymore.
awake, and then put my ass in bed. So.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
And the best part is, one, it was for a great cause, but two, it was truly enjoyable experience for all of us. So it was one of those things that it was sort of like, win-win, as it were.
And I would even add a third win because I was so touched by how many people stayed up with us in the chat room, supported us in the chat room. We're there. I mean, we had a constant, huge group of people the entire time, and some people were there from start to finish. It was really,
they had
really cool.
shared memories with us.
Shared
They
memories.
do,
of
amazing.
All right.
So we had fun. Anyway, and so next week we're going to get back to emails. So if you'd like to have an email read on the show, please feel free to send it to fans@totallyradshow.com.
Don't forget to send in your background. Your background can be featured on our show by sending it to fans@totallyradshow.com. You can also go to our website, totallyradshow.com, click on backgrounds. You'll be able to download this background for your very own, any of the backgrounds we've ever used. And you'll also find there our logos that can help you create your own background and instructions for submitting your background to us.
Amazing.
Yeah, if you want to get cool TRS swag,
Jinx.com/TRS, and we have a new shirt and sweatshirt coming for the holidays, so stick around.
And don't forget to check out our blog at totallyradshow.com/blog. I was hoping Dan would mention it, but he didn't. That is where you can find out the movie and video game we'll be reviewing next week.
Correct, and some behind-the-scenes pictures of the amazing intros that we've had, our ninja skill.
And
If you're not watching those time-lapse photos of the work Mike is doing,
oh, they're
You're not
great.
seeing-
really, really
I know.
Great. You should definitely watch those. Also, you should really be watching So You Think You Can Dance. I thought Jeff was going to mention it, but since he didn't, I'm just saying it. No, I don't know.
All right, well, that is it for this
I do like that
edition
show,
of the
but-
Totally Rad Show. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
See you next week. Dance.
You really thought I was going to mention that?
This week in TRS. Why is this week in TRS a problem?
This week in TRS or beyond?
This
you're
week in movies and
Yeah.
made me laugh.
Yeah. This week on TRS, we are talking. Oh God. All right. This week in. I gotta. Muppet Baby.
Babies.
Doug was great. Do 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 do.